RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. Y'all give me 1 second. Hold up. Y'all give me just 1 second. So, okay, so got some very bad news. Got some very bad news for myself. You know, let me get more in tune with doing this. Check out the merch. This is one of the shirts you can find in the merch store. It says, "Look at what you did to my white tee." Now, what's cool about this is that you can wear this, and it conveys the message. Look at what you did to my white tee. But this is what it is that I've been trying to mass produce, that I've been describing to y'all. If y'all can see that, that's an actual hole in the shirt. That's an actual hole there. And it's meant to look like the shirt has been shot. If you can see, if you can picture all of that, right? You get it? So this t-shirt design is meant to definitely highlight this feature in the clothing idea that I have. That I've had this idea since 2006. I've been trying to do this since 2006 that I've been talking about it, working on it. The things that I did to grind when I first started trying to do merch back in 2006 will blow your mind. I can draw a little bit, and I would take a pencil to a t-shirt and outline something, any kind of design or whatever, and then I would color it in with fabric paint just to make fucking t-shirts, thinking that I had this grand idea that I would make merch. And this was in 2006. This was way before like an online t-shirt store was a hot fucking thing. I was already thinking about it. And what's crazy, it was about gun violence awareness and prevention. That's what the whole thing was for. Because something almost violent happened to me and my girlfriend at the time. And I was like, I'm going to buy a gun. The fuck? I need a gun for protection. And even then, I didn't carry it, but I had one in the house. And that was like 2006 when all of that came about. And it all just kind of happened like a snowball effect of creativity, because I instantly moved into wanting to do message t-shirts and other cool designs to try to be artistic with it, but to draw people's attention to the idea of how like violent the world can be and how it's your responsibility to protect yourself. Because I was discovering this in you know, my newly found gun ownership at the time, and it all just kind of spilled over to the degree that I wanted to make merch, and this was way back in 2006. So here I am still trying to take a crack at it, and this is one of the ideas that I came up with back in 2006. This is an old idea. People see this and go, "Oh, that's cool." Like, man, I've been thinking about this shit for like almost 20 years. Almost 20 years I've been thinking about this. And I don't know how to mass produce it with the shots in it. So I buy merch and then I do this to it for me. I don't know how to do that to make it available to everybody, but whenever, however I can figure that out, I will do that. But I guess I'm about to have to depend on keeping a level head, thinking, planning, not being so lazy, and really putting my best foot forward in these endeavors that I have, from the filmmaking to the rap music, because I got rap material that sounds like my open carry demos and shit in rap form. And it's fucking good because I don't sound like a corny, preachy rapper. I sound like the gangster rap shit that they try to push onto everybody. I sound like them, but I'm talking like me, and it's actually fucking good, and I need to be doing that. But all of this is about to make me really lean into the things that I've been gathering information about and doing very little with. And that is Um, Creating a brand for myself for the open carry shit, the Hugger AR owner thing, the merch, the music, the independent film that I want to do on my activism to give y'all a total story with the details, how I grew up, everything. I wanted to look like Vice made the documentary. This is what I've been wanting to do. And now that I have lost my job today, right, of 11 and a half fucking years of working for this place, I lost my job today. And now all of this information that I've been gathering is going to have to come to the forefront. Now I have to. Um, and it's crazy because all of this shit just came so far out of nowhere that I have to wonder that I was told in the office as they were firing me that when I asked what is the reason or what was so wrong that I don't even deserve to be here after 11 and a half years. And they say to me, legally, all we can say is we decided to go in another direction. And it sounds like this cliche movie shit. And it's crazy to me because call me naive for thinking that the times where personal things were happening in my life or these fellow employees' lives, where it will cross paths with business and employment to where you see the humanity in somebody, you realize that you're dealing with a human being. We're all human beings. We all have, different things going on. Um, so hey, how you doing? How are your kids or whatever? How many kids you got? So when you do this, when you are working with people for 40 hours a week for 11 and a half years, I'm a genuine person. I cannot be around you and be fake and not miss an opportunity to like somebody uh, that I work with. I can't be fake like that. Either I'm going to find good, personal, sincere reasons to like you, or you're going to make 40 hours a week on a fucking job feel awkward because goddamn, 40 hours a fucking week, right? That's a big chunk of my life. If I'm going to be in here, how about we all get fucking money and like actually care about the people that are there? If I'm spending 40 hours a week with you motherfuckers, I don't give my kids 8 hours a day of my time. You see what I'm saying? There has to be something more than just robotically going through the motions. Um, I just told one of my coworkers a few weeks ago, and we crack these jokes often, but I always feel like an ant in an ant colony when I'm at work, going through the same motions other people are doing. I think there's a warehouse job. I worked in the shipping department in an aerospace company, so um, just walking around the place. I felt like an ant in an ant colony. I could totally feel the robotic movements and the whole fucking thing. So I was always very open to being like, if you're working right across this workbench with me for all this time, um, I'm going to ask you, how are your wife and kids? I'm probably going to do that. And then when you tell me, I'm probably going to like actually listen and not just be bullshit. And then when I actually listen to you, I'm probably going to begin to care. Watching you and your family go through your ups and your downs, and your kids are sick, and now your wife is mad about this and that, and you ain't been getting no play. And we have these talks and discussions after 11 and a half fucking years of me working. I'm going to form these bonds with people. And sure enough, when I got fired, all of the guys that I know that I'm real cool with are fucking texting me and all this other shit like, man, what the fuck? What the fuck? This is crazy. You know, um, they said that everybody is kind of sad up in there today. Um, it was me and one other guy, which is crazy because I hear how people talk shit about the other guy, and I can kind of see a little bit of what it is that they were saying. But for him to get fired, is like, oh no, sometimes places have this grass is greener on the other side kind of a thing. Um, and it's not a good place for that kind of turnover. Once you get locked into what it is that you have to do, you got to be certified. I had to be certified to ship hazmat materials or to sign material certs and shit that go onto parts that get put onto airplanes that's saying that this fucking part is certified and repaired to industry standards to be safe to install onto an airplane that you can safely fly this motherfucker. Like, this is what you have to be doing. So it was a very important job for the airline industry. Um, and it's just it's crazy how you can do. I didn't do that particular job in the department in the for my employer for the 11 and a half years. 4 of those years I was in the processing department, which is slightly different. But working in the shipping department was most of that. It was like 11 years of it, 11 and a half years of it. And to think that you can just take a person who was there for 11 and a half years out of it and be like, and then we can just plug in somebody else and then we'll be fine. It's like, I feel like I don't want to get into the logistics of how fair it was for them to fire me, because none of that will ever matter. When I was in the office talking to them, trying to say my piece and ask the questions like, what is going on? And like, what was so wrong? Like, can you tell me what it is so I can better myself for my next employer? Tell me what it is that you felt like for 11 and a half years of being here. None of that would matter. The fact that I just bought a house wouldn't matter. See, this is where the personal thing that I would expect will come into play, won't come into play with people that are just doing business. Because as I'm talking to these people, each one of the, it was 3 people in the office, and all 3 of them have told me personal things about their lives that may have touched my heart, that we've had man-to-man conversations about relationships, uh, and how crazy women can be and how much you desperately need them, and it's just all types of stuff. But when they go through these things, divorces and all this other shit these people have been through, when they go through that, and then they share that with you, it seems to escape them when it comes to something like this, that they can't be real. They didn't tell me nothing that would have saved me from whatever the fuck it was that was so fucking wrong, which I think I know what it is. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to show you that I bleed, because I think that something that I did was fucking stupid, and it had nothing to do with work per se. I'm going to tell you what I did in a minute, and y'all gonna be like, oh, dude, you are fucking stupid. It's stupid. And as I'm talking about this, it's all coming to me on this fucking live stream right now that I think I know what happened, and it's fucking stupid. I did it to myself, actually. It's fucking stupid. Um, but I would just personally expect that. Okay, I'll put it to you like this: if I was the boss and I had employed these people, um, I would have a hard time not considering your personal life. And I know that it's just business, but in order to fire somebody, I would have to say that I have definitive proof that a loss of financial gain for the company is now outweighing any personal or even business relationship that we can have, that I would throw them both into the fucking trash. You can't be here. And it would take a lot for me to, as a boss, to do that. It'd be hard for me. Not, it's not like it's a big company. It's like under 50 people in this company. And it's the one. It's not like one of many. It's not like a fucking restaurant fucking franchise. This is the one, right? Um, That's that projection though, because when bad people are bad, they think everybody's attacking them. When people want to be good and they want to be sincere, you expect for everybody else to be being sincere with you, but none of that matters. Because just buying this house last December didn't matter to them. Not the guy that shedded tears when an employee told me that he lost his father about a month or so ago, however long it was. He's telling me this story in the kitchen area at work. And I couldn't stop crying. Not boohoo crying. It's just the tears just wouldn't stop rolling. The more he would tell a story, the more I tried to fucking wipe my face and try to maintain my composure. But I'm talking to a guy that just lost his dad, and it was fucking breaking me up, bro. And I know Dave. He's a good dude. He's such a good person. Such a cool, chill dude. Um, it's Dave, and he lost his dad. And that's the only thing that mattered in the moment, as he's telling me the story about how his weekend went. And none of that will make them say to me at all, you're in the danger zone because of this. We find your behavior to be harmful, and or whatever it is. And if you want to change it, we suggest you do more of this, or else you have to go. And that's super simple, right? I got none of that from the people who claim to be trying to protect the business enough that in the protection of the business, because they want to go in another direction, they had to let me go. And it's like, well, in the protection of the business, how come you didn't blow the whistle on this shit a long ass fucking time ago? Y'all been smiling in my face, preparing to do this while all of this is boiling underneath me, and I have no idea. I walked in here smiling this morning. The fuck happened, right? So not only did the a warehouse manager who has had it out for me for a long time. Me and him have had, um, I wouldn't necessarily say like screaming matches, but I might have gotten a little loud. But we have like disagreements where he feels like he's the kind of person that always has to be right. And when I'm trying to express to him that something that he was not considering needs to be applied to what the fuck it is he thinks he sees before he can make a valid or accurate decision about what the fuck he wants to call this shit. And when I do that, even if it proves him wrong, it's a no-go. It goes nowhere. That's still a tally in his mind of a disagreement with Trey about this, that, or whatever. I win, Trey zero. You know, it's like he's constantly keeping this inaccurate score to keep this grudge up. And what's so crazy is that this is the guy that I had the biggest issue with at work, period. I've never really had too much of an issue with anybody else except for one other person that got fired because of his behavior towards me and other people. But the conflict between me and him was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that guy got fired. The only other guy I've ever had a problem with in this company for 11 and a half years is this warehouse manager guy. And it just so happens that too quick that the day that I get fired, people that I work with are already texting me saying, yo, Anderson's son is about to work in shipping now. The guy that never liked me all of this time, his son is going to take my place. Crazy, right? That's just crazy to me. But I do want to show a weakness in how careless I can be. Anybody that's seen any of my live streams lately, for sure, you'll know. You'll know who in this bitch right now. Hassan, what up? Nick, 4888. Yeah, you're right, Hassan Hook. Like, this, I feel like, you know what's crazy? This is what's crazy. Is that I was told that if I wanted to escape the wrath of this warehouse manager because he's such a stickler about certain things, that I could go work in a different department of the warehouse. I could go back to the processing department. I didn't want to be there. I liked working where I was. So I was like, nah, I don't really want to do that. Really, I'm good where I'm at. And then me and Anderson, we'll work our shit out, whatever the disagreement is. Because I don't hold grudges. I let bygones be bygones. I don't give a fuck what we argued about the day before. I'm going to come into work being like, hey, man, what up? You good? Because I can't linger on that. So I was always willing to be like that. So it never bothered me. I always made the attempt to be stoic whenever I can. And I'm always a forgiving person anyway. So feeling like I needed to get out of his way or stop bumping heads with him, it always made me feel like the issue would be whatever the issue is at hand. Because I'm not going to be holding a whole bunch of fucking grudges. But the offer to have me get out of the fray with the warehouse manager was not given to me as an ultimatum or a path that was supposed to save me. It was given to me as an option. And he even said, the big boss, the CEO, I guess that's what you would call him. He's the head guy. It's a family-run business. The real CEO he's got one foot in, one foot out. He's pretty much retired. I would call it that. And his son is the one who really leads the whole business. And I would think that as close as me and him were, that he would say straight to my face whenever this was already an issue, that if, in order to save my job, I needed to get out of the fray from the warehouse manager where he seems to be hyper-focused on things going exactly his way all the time. And then I could go work in processing in a different department in the warehouse. That was given to me as an option, as if I wanted to keep the peace, I can do that. I thought that I had no problem keeping the peace being where the fuck I was because it was never a real issue. I wasn't trying to do battle with the fucking manager. I was just willing to stick up for myself. And anytime I tried to speak up on something, he'd act like I was making excuses or trying to cover my ass with some bullshit. But when I break it down to him that it's not bullshit, it's just new information that he wasn't considering before he came to this conclusion about what he saw, he don't want to hear me, does not want to be corrected, right? This is the issue with me and this dude. I was taking that shit as stoically as possible. I wasn't gonna let that shit ruin me and him. I could still find a reason to like you, right? I can still find a reason to like you. I know personal things about you that'll make me say that's a human being. He's just a human being, bro. So then I would consider that when you start fucking with the human being that's not there. I mean, 40 hours a week. Okay, cool. How many hours am I not in there? 100 and what? 28 or something like that? The hours that I'm not in there, that's who I really am then, probably. I'm not the 40-hour a week trade that you think you know, right? I'm all of this other stuff, right? I'm a whole man. I got a girl and kids. I got a house, bills, responsibilities, shit like that, right? There's all of that. So what you do inside this 40 hours a week when you try to determine who the fuck you think it is that you're dealing with, just know that you're affecting 120 some hours of a whole nother person that I thought you caught a glimpse enough of to kind of respect. So if I wasn't going to be there after 11 and a half years, you would think that it'd be so serious that I was seeing it coming. You would think that it would be undeniable and easy to see by other people. Everybody in the fucking company is like, what the fuck did Trey do? What the fuck did he do? No one can understand it. And I'm not going to be the ideal, perfect fucking employee. But as random as everything else in there is, it's fucking insane. People that you would expect to be there at 8 o'clock are not there at 8 o'clock. People that you expect to be there at 9 o'clock are not there at 9 o'clock. People call out work on short notice, kids and other things. I've done these things. Everybody has done these things. The manager who fired me, the warehouse manager, he has done these things very recently. And when I started noticing, I started keeping a mental tally. People like, this is the stuff that you act like I did that ruins me enough that you don't know if I deserve to be here because of what? You just did the same thing, bruh. It's 7:55. You just told people you're not going to be in until noon. Your job is so critical, so important. Isn't it a big pain for you to not show up out of nowhere? Come on, bruh. Right? Doesn't matter. He's got very little to answer to. When you climb the ladder like that, or when you're up there on the totem pole, your rarity and how easy it is for you to be replaced will directly determine how expendable you are to people. And it's not like I can't fucking understand it, but I thought that there would be a personal thing in a small company like this where they go, I'm not firing a guy that I feel like is this and that or whatever. Sometimes when there's multiple examples of how I be saving shit, I be catching mistakes, critical mistakes that can make us look foolish as a company. For dealing with the shit it is that we deal with. It's not like I don't make mistakes, but who in there does not make a mistake? This same warehouse manager will come out to try to help with shipping. Sometimes if it gets really crazy and we selling a lot of shit, this is when the bonuses come. Sometimes we need that extra hand to be like, yo, they making sales orders. We got to ship these parts out. We got an AOG, airplane on the ground. They trying to get this bitch in the air. They need to ship this pronto. Like there's a lot of shit going on. And sometimes he's got to come out there to help. And he does all of the regulation for this department, including the hazmat training, the forklift training, and all of that safety kind of shit. Him and OSHA, they like this, right? That's him. He's the one that arranges these things and makes sure that we got warehouse safety and all types of other regulations are in place. Cool. He does his job. Fine. Good for you, motherfucker. But when he comes out there to have to put hands on shit, he be making mistakes, not accurately identifying serial numbers and part numbers on shit, sending out parts without the right fucking paperwork, and then we got to backtrack, or the shipment got stalled in Lithuania some goddamn fucking where because of what he did or did not do to a commercial invoice. All of this shit he comes out there to do, he ain't even out there that much. Constantly making the mistakes when he is out there. Things just kind of happen. Then we look at him and go, human beings, right? So don't treat me like a dumbass, like somehow I sabotage this shit on purpose. Like I corrected myself when I made the error. When you pointed out the error, I made all of the corrections in my head, and then you got to talk to me like I'm a day one child, like I just got here. When I'm thinking of all of the shit when you told me what went wrong, I know exactly what happened. Boom, 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 right there. I got it. So like there's this weird dynamic, bro, that I just don't like authority in that way when I see people use it in this way. And it's like, dude, you human too. You come out here, you top dog, right? You in charge of keeping all of the regulations in place. And look what happens. You come out here and you fuck up a regulation. You allowed this part to go without the paperwork because you thought that it'd be fine till later. And it wasn't. And you chose to do that, right? And then when I do it, you go, then you act like the tally is racking up. And I'm like, man, you tweaking. Sometimes I will get, I I would have to bear the brunt of an error being made because I follow directions of a sales guy that's just trying to get a shipment out and it needs to just fucking go because his customer needs this shit. He made the fucking promise and the paperwork ain't right, or this ain't right, or they haven't paid yet, but they're on terms, so they're gonna pay. And we got to do all sort of shit. And then when I ship it, and then they go, "Man, what'd you do?" I was like, "I did what the fucking sales guy told me to do." I thought that maybe he knew something that I didn't know, or that he knows better than me. He said, "Ship that shit." I just started shipping shit, and they go, "Well, you need to do this and do that, and stop being a yes man." I go, "Why is it my fault that I chose to trust the sales guy that knows the ins and out? He could have a plethora of nuances behind the scenes that I'm not privy to because I'm not in there. That makes him say, 'Do what the fuck I said.' I said it's okay, bro. I gotta explain this shit to you." So when motherfuckers tell me to go, I just go. And this has happened on, I can count on, I need both hands to count how many times that I've been in the shipping department where this has happened, where it became an issue, where I got into some trouble, where all I did was follow the instructions from the sales guy when I should have just stuck to the plan, to give them the brick wall, to say no to them when they need to know. And it's not like I don't get that, and I do that. But there's other times where when I put that brick wall up, other people look at me like, "Dude, do what you're told." And I'm going, "Man, y'all gonna have to make a choice around here. Do I do what I told, or do I put up the brick wall to save face, just in case the sales guy is sending me up the fucking river by having me do some shit that's not quite cool?" It's it's crazy. So, there's all these little things, but what the problem is that they hold grudges. A mistake that I made 4 years ago, he thinking about that today. He was thinking about that shit today, right? It's crazy. Um, and it's a damn shame, man, because of course I'm keeping my composure. I'm cool. I'm being optimistic about it. But what's such a shame is that what really got me fired, I don't think it was my performance so much. And I think that if I hang on that and I lean on that, the guy told me for legal purposes, he can't say nothing but the fact that they decided to go in another direction. And I'm not quite sure what that is. But I think doing my live streams, pulling up to work, talking the way I'm talking, as soon as they can say that in one of them videos, with me knowingly going to my place of employment where they can identify the building, that might have been enough for them to go, "What is you doing now? Because now you're tying yourself to us." Um, there's been a couple of times that I had to try and move my camera because as I'm approaching the building, I noticed you can see this the name of the company on the side of the fucking building as I drive up through the parking lot. And then I go, I wonder if anybody caught that. Um, I just told a guy that I work with that I'm cool with. Cool with. I can only try to relate it to some of that though. Is that I just told him um, that I was a gun rights activist and that I do open carry demonstrations and that I have a YouTube and all sort of shit. And I worked with this dude for years and I never really talked to him about it. He don't even work in my department, so I'm not right there with him all the time. And we friendly, familiar any other time when we cross paths and shit. But we're never in a setting where I can casually have the conversation with him, knowing that if I want to have the conversation with him, it will be between me and him because he's right here in earshot of me speaking. That never happens where we're in earshot long enough for me to get my shit off or for him to express any political views or anything like that at all to me or me to him. It's always in passing, maybe some personal stuff. Definitely friendly. I would consider most of the people there people that I honestly cared about. That I know that I've seen something in their personal life that somehow spilled over into the employer employee into the employee relationship. That a little bit of your humanity spills over. If I see any of it all, I know I'm talking to a person when I'm talking to you. You're not just somebody I work with. I try to be like that. I thought other people would be like that too, but that's that projection, bro. Because no one else fucking really feels. Well, I won't say nobody. There's a couple people that already messing me today. They are fucked up in there. They said that the whole fucking place is sad today. Me and one other guy got fired, and they said that everybody is just like said the whole place is crazy. That that's all they've been talking about, and that nobody understands what the fuck for. But they gonna see though, because I'm not saying that I'm so important to the fucking place that the place is gonna go up in flames without me. But in that shipping department, especially when the company is as big is as busy as they want to be, it was rough to keep up with my experience and the other guy that's been out there longer than me. He's fucking good at his job. There's not a problem that doesn't come across that shit with international shipping or hazardous materials or nothing that he can't solve. Freight shipping, all of that. He manages to solve it all, even when things go wrong or there's a problem. He always does. Um, but I feel like it's bugging me trying to figure out how the fuck they think they gonna get through shipping all of this shit out when they have lost one out of two people. Well, I would say one out of three. One out of three of us in my department can ship hazmat and international shit, creating shippers letters of intent and commercial invoices for international shipments, all of that type of shit. Um, that would definitely mean that the head of my department, who is a good guy, he's a good guy. I like him. He's just one of those dudes. I work with you right, in close proximity for 7 years of this fucking place. There's no way I'm not gonna like you. Either I'm not gonna like you or I'm definitely gonna like you. But it'll be one or the other. I'm not gonna be able to ignore that I'm talking to a fucking person. You're not just a coworker. I can't see that shit like that. That's strange to me. I would have to force that like that. It would seem so unnatural. You're a person. As soon as you make me feel some type of way about your life story, your kids, your wife, your ups and downs in your life, as soon as I even express them, damn, that's sad, or man, that's awesome, you got me, bro. I'm always going to be willing to take advantage of human interaction like that to the fullest and try not to take none of that shit for granted. I think people are just in there capable and willing to take the shit for granted because none of that type of feeling made them say, who are we firing and what the fuck for? Trey, what the fuck for? Because everybody else is in there going, what the fuck for? So the people that make the choice didn't go, what the fuck for? And they damn sure didn't say, dude, it's a make it or break it. Act like this up in here or you gotta go. If you say that, I'll go, man, watch me go, fucking stranger, you're not my friend. I don't even know you. Please don't talk to me. I'll go in there and fucking be a robot and just zone out and be like, all I do is work, bro. I don't give a fuck about nobody in here. I don't care. And it'll hurt. But if I had to cut it all off to just work, I would. It seems that all of the little things they became hypersensitive about. And at this time that I get fired, the guy that fires me, his son, is who takes my place. And that's so strange. And I found that out in hours of being fired, within hours. Crazy. Fucking strange. So now what I have to do to maintain the lifestyle for my kids um is I'm gonna have to get some new tires on my vehicle, and I'm gonna have to start moving coke as a drug mule for the cartels. I think that'd be a good career move. Nah, ain't gonna be none of that. Um, yeah, I mean, there's some other stuff I can do, and even then, that won't be enough. And what's so crazy though, yeah, I'm not gonna be a drug mule for the cartels. I'm not gonna do that. Uh, but they are going to get. Hey, you might be right, Rick James. I wouldn't even feel bad about that. I wouldn't even feel bad. Um, um, what's crazy is that the guy that fired me, his son is going to take my place, and that's okay. But I feel like they obviously made this decision way before today. Of course, it was nothing that I did in the moment. It was nothing that I did yesterday. Um, they had to come to this determination like way before it actually happens, which means that I'm there working, continuing to do whatever it is that they don't like without them jumping in to stop me from doing it so that it doesn't harm me and the company for whatever. But that's me trying to place this shit in the workforce, and I don't think that that's what it is. I think uh, motherfuckers found my YouTube and realized that there's a crossover between my place of employment and my YouTube, that you can see the sign. And I even got out and showed y'all the chemtrails the other day. that was going over the building. You can identify that building. I don't know if it's things like that that'll make them say, "Hey, you got to go." There's something else too that I gotta I have to point out that I did that I think is stupid, and I'm not quite sure if it played a role in it, but it might have. But before I get to the point of that, let me tell y'all this: my Facebook was found by the CFO of this company who never liked me. Me and her bumped heads early on from a bunch of different situations. They were direct depositing my account while I was trying to battle some fraud that was making my account negative. So in my bank account, the account was constantly negative as I'm trying to battle this fraud case that the bank didn't want to give into. And as I was doing that, I told them, can I get a paper check? Do not deposit my check into that account. Maybe I can just get a different account. But she was like, well, there's not enough time for that. Payroll has been done. This is going to be deposited into this account. You should keep your finances private because we don't need to hear that. And you should keep your finances in order so that you don't find yourself in this. And at this time, I had been working there for maybe like almost 2 years. I had got no raise in 2 years. I went and got a pay advance. They gave me a pay advance, and when they gave me the pay advance, the CEO told me that the reason why it appears that I'm in this financial jam, really that I'm living check to check, being so close to the edge, is that they didn't pay me enough, and he happily gave me a raise. I didn't have to ask for it. He just discovered my hardship and realized that I had been working there for 2 years with no raise, and then he gave me a raise, and then that helped a bunch. I never really need to go back in that direction again like that. But she argued me up and down that she could not give me a paper check. And I was like, are you kidding me? You should have to pay me in gold if I request it. And when I said that, it pissed her off. Because she thought, who the fuck am I to say some shit like that? I went and Googled the law and sent it to her. And from that moment on, me and her had an issue. So much so that when we moved warehouses from one warehouse to the warehouse that we are right now, we moved the entire inventory. It was a crazy process. Not only did I not have a car at that time, I was either walking a few miles to work, leaving the house super early to walk, and then when I got a bike, I was riding my bike to work, and I was catching a bus if nothing else worked, if it was too cold for me to walk or ride the fucking bike, until I ended up getting a vehicle. I got this piece of shit vehicle, but I was willing to go through it for my job, and I did for a big chunk of it. But when we moved warehouses from one warehouse to the next, there was a moving bonus that they gave us because of the awkwardness of the work, because we had to move while trying to carry on business as usual in the best that we could, and it was fucking hard to do. And doing that and having to move every little thing and box it up and then unwrap it, all of these airplane parts. This is a warehouse full of airplane parts, okay? So they come from being as small as a whole bunch of little washers to entire thrust reversers and fucking nose cowls and all type of shit. The big parts of the plane, the parts that cover the engine and the nose of the plane, and even seats, captain seats, and all type of shit. Right. So it was heavy work, moving all of this shit, getting into a semi, getting it over to the new place, and unloading it off, and keeping it in order to do business as usual. It was a rough endeavor. They gave out a bonus during this process. And I was the only person that the CFO in question, this woman, went around to other people that work with me. Two of the guys that she went to and asked this question to had only been there for about a year when I had been there for about maybe 3 years at this point, something like that. 2 or 3 years, something like that. She asked them, so how was Trey doing? How was he working? Was he working and putting in work? And I'm going, bitch, I ran to work today. I ran 3 miles today to get to work. Are you insane? And then when I come in here, I bust my ass. I'm the only one moving fast, actually. To the degree that one guy said that I was moving so fast and working so hard during the move and stuff that he thought that I was trying to show off. Right? One guy thinks I'm trying to show off. She had to ask to validate to see how valid it was that I was working. What makes you think that I don't work? So none of this is even making any sense to me. It was blowing my fucking mind, right? But I'm like, oh, you got that grudge because of all that shit that I was talking to you about the fuck paying me in gold. And she's asking around, everybody going, no, yeah, he did good. He was working. Like, what the fuck you mean? So much so that they felt so awkward that 3 out of the 6 people, 3 out of the 6 people, half of them came to me and told me face to face, this bitch just asked me if you was working and you was putting in work during the move. Like, why the fuck was you? I was like, oh, because it's bonus time. What you gonna try and do? Cut me out the bonus? The only person out the whole fucking warehouse that don't get the bonus? That's exactly what happened. Then that's exactly what happened. And then I had to go check in on it. And I'm like, yo, what happened? One of the guys in the office was like, well, that ain't right. That couldn't have been. Ain't no way in hell that that's what happened. And then when we seen that was what happened, they was like, oh no, this ain't good. So then they had to fucking cut that check right then. It all turned into a big ordeal. And they was like, why she was trying to cut Trey out the bonus? What the fuck are you talking about? He didn't take no vacation days in the midst of the move. More or less show up and then not work. How would that even happen? When does he ever? Like, what is this, right? Because it's not like that's who I was in the fucking company. The guy that comes to work that tries not to work, right? She was trying to play me like it was like that, but there was no narrative to attach me to like that, right? So she had to give it up and give the bonus. She went and told all of the other guys that whoever spoke up about bonuses and discussing finances with other employees will lose their bonus next time, which is also something that she cannot do. Because she realized that she said something to somebody and they came back and told me, and that blew this all up, right? So if there was supposed to be a bonus given and I didn't get it, and you have to hide the fact that you kept it from me, and you don't want other people to just say, hey, I got my bonus. What did you talking about, Trey? Because I was like, we didn't get bonus Friday? I come in Monday. We didn't get bonus Friday? They go, yeah, fuck you talking about. That's how it all started, because I was wondering what happened. I come in, everybody going, man, bonus was nice. I go, bonus was non-existent. I don't know what y'all talking about. So it turned into all that. And then for her to say that to whoever said something to me, fucking crazy, right? That's weird. The same woman told another guy when I was back here, when I was there like a year or two, and they fired this same guy that I'm about to tell you about. They fired him. He had been there 17 years. They fired him like 3 years ago. He had been there 17 years and they fired him. He told me before he even got fired, way before he got fired, he told me when it happened that the same woman in question that be hassling me about every little thing, right? She told him when he asked how I was working, because she would ask people back there working with me how they felt about my work performance. Not no managers, random people, so that she could see if she can keep a consistent story. Because that one person said, I don't really like Trey. She'd go, that's my answer, but she couldn't find it. She told this guy that I'm talking about specifically that they fired after 17 years of working for them. They fired him 3 years ago. She told him, I would like to fire Trey, but he's black, so I can't. Right? So she's thinking, either she's thinking I'm going to call a race car because she wouldn't have enough of another reason to fire me. If you're going to fire me, you should have a justified reason. It won't matter. It won't matter if I'm black. I wouldn't even be able to say that, right? And why would I? Why would I just say you fired me because I was black, right? Why would I do that? I could say you fired me because you don't like me, and that there's no real work performance reason just because you don't like me. I know you don't like me. There's other people you don't like that ain't black. So if your only reason to not like me is because I'm black, then we got a problem. If you don't like me because you don't like this, that, or whatever, you should be able to stand on that and just say that. Why would you say to him, to another person that works here, I would like to fire Trey, but I can't because he's black. So from that moment on, she considered me a black guy riding some fucking advantage to stay in a place that I don't deserve to be in, that I'm only here because I'm black. That's who I became. When the moment she said that out loud to somebody else, that's who I became. And that was early on. I was here for like a year, 2 years or something like that. And that's what she said. I wanted to file suit. But I didn't know how to measure damage, so it didn't make no sense that I would sue for that. I wasn't there. I couldn't prove it. But this guy was, I didn't want to throw him under the bus either. Now you got to testify, bro. I'm about to sue and you got to testify. Tell me tell the courtroom what you told me that she said, right? But I know the CEO because this place is special. You can't work there unless somebody that works there already knows you and then you get referred. When I started working there, I didn't fill out no resume, no application, no nothing. I knew the CEO. He was a regular at a coffee shop that I worked at. I worked at the coffee shop for 6.5 years. He said, if you can work a coffee shop for 6.5 years selling coffee through a fucking drive-through window, what do you think about selling airplane parts? And that's after me and him got personal all through the fucking drive-through window. I know he was a regular. When he pull up, I already know what his coffee drink was. I'm talking about a real barista shit, right? I was a barista. Not like Starbucks. They fucking it up. They fucking the game up. Once you learn some shit, you watch other people fuck it up, then you start getting judgmental about that shit. In Starbucks, they be fucking it up. They're not real baristas. We were like high-end bartender fucking baristas, dude. Like, I was really about that shit, right? And I was proud of it because I just did it well and I was friendly to people and everybody fucking liked me as usual. But he offered me a job one night. He came through and he said, "Hey, I'm a rich white guy and everyone's hitting me up for money. It's the Christmas season. You should hit me up for money." And I was like, that's kind of awkward. You want me to repeat it now to you? Can I have some money or some shit like that? But he was talking about maybe putting a nice tip, because we accept the tips at this place anyway. He's gonna put a nice tip in a gift card, I mean in a Christmas card or something like that. And I said, no, but if you want to offer me a job, I'll take a job. You can get me out this coffee shop. I don't want the Christmas money. I don't need it. And he's like, I like that answer. You come talk to me and I'll get you a job. But you can sell coffee in this fucking place. Maybe you can sell airplane parts. So like, okay. And that was like in December of like 2012 or some shit like that. 2011. 2012 come around, January, February, March, I still ain't going in to talk to this dude because now I'm nervous because I don't know shit about airplane parts. When I get in there, I overdress. I come in a suit and tie, right? No one else comes in there like that. No one else is in there like that at all. The place isn't like that. Customers don't come inside. They do all their business over the phone and over the internet and shit like that. So all of even the sales guys are in athletic attire, fucking slides with no socks. You got your toes out in the office and shit. It's a super lax work environment, and I like that. When I walked in there in the suit and tie, they was like, who the fuck is this dude? They thought maybe I was in there as an inspector or something to come check something. I was like, nah, I'm trying to get a job here. They was like, oh, you overdressed, buddy. When I overdressed, the same woman that gave me the hassle that I told her she should pay me in gold if I ask her, the same one that said that she would fire me, but I'm a black guy and she wouldn't be able to, that same woman told the CEO when I came in the first time and he wasn't in the building, so I had to come back another time. I was in a suit and tied in. When I left and came back and he seen that it was me and I was here, and she said, oh, yeah, this is the guy. He came by last week and you weren't here. And I went and shook his hand. And he goes, that was you that came in? She said you look like a rapper. I'm like, how the fuck I look like a rapper? I was in a suit and tie and everybody in here said I was overdressed. She told you I look like a rapper? What the fuck? But this is this woman, right? Fucking crazy, right? Man, I let that shit slide. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted the fucking job. I didn't care. I thought it was awkward. I didn't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. I thought I looked cool like a rapper anyway. So I was trying to halfway take it as a compliment. I didn't really give a fuck, right? But this is the same woman. Crazy shit, man. How many push-ups can she do? 0. What are her athletic skills? 0. What can she do besides office work? 0. Thanks, Singe, man. Yeah, she was an older woman too. And what's crazy is that I tried to like her too, even when I know she didn't like me. I tried to like her because she cut me a break when I was going through my custody battle, and I was getting my son every other weekend during the custody battle, and I had to leave work on Fridays to go get him. But the drive was so fucking far that if I had to wait till 5 o'clock to get off work to go, that shit wouldn't work. So she would allow me to take short lunch breaks throughout the week, maybe come in a little early to kind of bounce it out, whatever it is I can do to bounce it out, so I can leave every other Friday to go get my son without really missing my work and shit, because she know I needed the money. And this was her idea, and she offered it. So when they offer things like this, and when people are nice, and there's other times where I thought that she was being kind of caring or concerning or accommodating to me, that was the business side because I was already employed there. So she just kind of had to follow through. So she did it, and sometimes with a smile. I would take that so personally that I go, you don't got to hate me all the time. Look at you smiling at me and shit, ask me how I'm doing. I can learn to like you too. We can let bygones be bygones. And I was always doing that. And she was always holding grudges because it never really went away. And that's that crazy shit. That's weird as fuck, bro. But it's a learning experience for me to realize that being a good person don't mean that people are going to be the same good person to you, and that just because you care about somebody personally doesn't mean that they're going to care about you. None of that shit matters, man. They all business. The CEO's son, me and him was like this. I thought he was cool with me, like on a friendship level. He told me months ago he could see me retiring in this place. Where the fuck would I be? Where else would I go? I would be here as long as I wanted to be. I will retire at this fucking place. And then he helped make the decision, and then he wasn't even there today when they fired me, and that's crazy. What is that, bro? That's crazy as hell to me. It's weird. And like, it's my fault though for having this expectation that personal things would be considered in the midst of some shit like this just because some personal shit is going on. It's crazy to me. The CEO, the oldest son, the lead of the family business here, Me and him were close. I thought we were cool. Our daughters go to gymnastics at the same fucking place. I'm gonna have to see him there. Probably, maybe. We don't always cross paths, but when there's meets and stuff like that, and there's competitions, then we might cross paths because different age groups and our skill levels and all of that shit, they all come together. So I might end up seeing him there. I know he's gonna want to be friendly and stuff, and I'm naturally gonna want to be friendly, regardless whether I'm doing good or bad at the time that I see him again. If we cross paths there, I'm gonna naturally want to be friendly, and that's probably what's gonna happen. But inside, I'm going to be wishing that I could just be a jerk and act like I don't know him and go, man, fuck you, fuck off. But I won't be able to do that because when I see his face, I'm like, that's the homie, man. That's the homie. I thought I'm gonna naturally go to that, and just like I always try to wake up telling myself in the morning, I go to sleep at night telling myself in the morning, I'm gonna give my girl the cold shoulder. I ain't been getting none. I had to feed the kids and clean up after them and do all this other shit last night, blah, blah, blah. I'm giving her the cold shoulder when I wake up in the morning. I hope she don't fucking talk to me. And then I wake up being sweet and nice and all the other type of shit because I can't force myself to be, I can't force myself to be like that unless I feel like I have personal reason to really be like that, and I'm always willing to extend that shit regardless of whether you extend it or not. So I'll constantly be extending the hand of friendship whenever I can get it. As soon as I get out my feelings, I wake up the next day, I will extend the hand of friendship to you no matter what the fuck happened. Then it'll be you not giving it back, and then I go, oh yeah, that's right, you don't rock with me like that. I have to revisit it every day because I'm always willing to be like, the fuck? You can't let bygones be bygones about what? Especially if you was in the wrong or this ain't even really that big of a deal because you kind of like, all of that type of shit makes me go into a stoic place where I'm thinking, if there's any positivity I can get out of interacting with you, I should reach for that no matter what. You got to be the one to spoil it if we can't go there. It's going to be you to spoil it because I'm not going to be the one to spoil it. And then I try to just be cool, man. Just try to be cool, man. It's crazy. That's crazy. But let me tell y'all, now that I got all that off my chest, that what I think is going on. First of all, they found my Facebook. This woman did. She found my Facebook, wanted to fire me about that. And somebody said to her that if we cannot attach our image to him and his social media, there's no connection, can't do shit. And now recently we're doing the live streams the way I be doing, pulling up to work and shit like that. I don't know if the information that I gave another person that I worked there, that I worked there with, that wasn't privy to my activism or none of that. They didn't know that about me. We was cool as hell otherwise. We were cool, friendly, right? I don't know if they knew that. I don't know if they went and saw my YouTube and went, oh, okay, and went, oh, that says the name of the fucking company that you work for right there. And you pull right up to the building and parked. And then when I got out and showed y'all the chemtrails just the other day, you could see the whole front of the building. You could recognize that building. I don't know if they went, boom, got him. Got him. Got him. I don't know, man. I don't know if me, oh, I hate to say this out loud, and I don't got to tell y'all everything, so maybe I should keep this to myself. But there is something else that I do during my live streams that may have been grounds for termination because there's only so far they can take it. And when he said legally, all they can say is that they decide to go in another direction. It makes me feel like, it makes me think. I'll say think because I'm literally taking things and putting them together to develop a thought process. No feelings. I'm trying not to feel with this shit. I think that if they watch my live streams close enough, they can develop a curiosity about me inside their minds enough to be grounds for termination of employment. And I'm not going to give y'all the details about what that is. If y'all watch my live streams, you might be able to put it together. Watch what it is that I do and say and see if you can figure out very specifically where it'll look political, but it can become personal. And if you look at the live streams enough, I think y'all can put it together. I won't say it out loud what it is. I thought I was going to, but I won't. Only because I don't want it to ruin things in the future. If I think that it can affect my future at all, then I won't say what it is. But I think I know what it is that I do during my live streams. That might have been the reason. Yeah, I won't. I won't feed the beast. Acquired Taste Media. That's you, Cuzzo. Yeah, man. And then you know what's crazy though is that I was making like six figures with this job. I mean, at the I mean on paper. Of course, you know they tax the fuck out your shit. On paper, you see six figures real easy. As a matter of fact, on paper, if you take off my income at the six-figure mark and then take what's left, a single man could survive on that. If you single, you ain't got no kids, you can survive on what you take from me after the six-figure mark. The job was good. It paid well. The activism, not so much. Um, it's a goddamn shame that I can't revert to this and lean on this to be like, now I have an opportunity to do this all the time, like I said that I was going to. And that's dope, but it won't pay the bills though. It's dope. I got the time now, and it ain't gonna pay it. It ain't gonna pay the bills. Um, so what it is that I have to do to save to save this shit for my kids is some shit that I don't want to do, but I'm about to have to, and I'm not gonna say what that is. It ain't nothing illegal or nothing. It's just I gotta make a desperate um, I gotta make a desperate reach that I don't want to have to do just so I can hide this transition from my kids because they shouldn't have to feel none of this transition in life what we're about to go through right now. And it's crazy because I look at other jobs or other places where I could work and what I make per hour is cool. What really turns uh, the bank account up is the fact that we get bonuses. So there was sales bonuses at this place. And we hit a certain threshold in sales in the office with the sales guys, then they start doing company wide bonuses. And as we cross that threshold, there's a plateau where the bonus that you know that there's that starter point where they go, we're capable and willing to issue bonuses at this point. And then once we make, I mean, like for example, last month we sold almost $6 million in 1 month in airplane parts, and of course you got your cost into it, and then you got your profit margin, and then you got your profit margin, and once that profit margin hit a certain place, then bonuses start getting good. So my hourly income is not enough to really sustain what it is that I need and desire for me to maintain the lifestyle. What the job really was a whole lot of the bonuses that very easily outweighed my normal pay. The bonuses killed my normal pay every time. It flushed it the fuck out. Like it almost didn't matter. We get the bonus check from the previous sales month before, and we get that at the end of the following month. That bonus check always made the first check that I got that month look like the tip, the bonus. Like that was the bonus, right? That's what it looked like. It always overshadowed it sometimes three, maybe even four times as much. Fucking crazy, right? So if I go find another job that'll pay what this job paid per hour, but don't give the bonuses, I have gotten nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Which also might be hard to do because the job paid well hourly. It was a very important and critical but hidden hand inside of the airline industry to keep these things going. Boeing and Airbus, they here, hold on for a second, you guys. Hold on. Okay, are we here? Okay. So what's crazy is that not only is it the hourly rate that was dope, that's already dope by itself, but the bonuses made so much of a big difference that it's just gonna be really, really hard for another place of employment to pay me what it was that they were paying me. And that's fucking sad. That's crazy. This is the first house I ever bought, knocked it out of the park. My phone number has a bunch of nines in it. My license plate, without even fucking trying, it's not a personalized place. It's got a bunch of nines on it. I graduated in 1999. This house right here was built in 1999. That was the year that I came to Cedar Rapids after I graduated high school. My life number is nine. All of this nine shit, right? Um, I felt like this was that some way, somehow, that if I were to find all of these connections in life like this, that life would be telling me that I was on the right path to achieve something, a goal that I may have unknowingly set for myself, maybe in some, I mean, I don't want to get into the spiritual or like, crazy shit like that. But all of that kind of stuff plays on me a little bit because I have to wonder if life is made up of those kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? And I got many examples in my life of life appearing to be tapping me on the shoulder, going, "Hey man, go this way." And I go, "Why?" And go, "You'll see later. Just go this way. Just trust me. Go this way." Like life be doing that to me, right? And this job from multiple angles, and me buying this house when I did, as my first house, the year that was made, the house was built the year I graduated high school when I came over here. It's crazy that I was graduating high school and motherfuckers was over here hammering nails and putting up drywall and shit, going, some kid that just graduated high school is going to come get this house later. He'll come get it. You know, that's beautiful, man. Where we moved from, um, to move into this house. Beautiful, man. The kids got a better life and a better house than I ever had in my life. I would have never imagined. I just said in one of my live streams just a couple days ago that if you would have showed me images of my life in the future with me and my kids, that my kids would have a life like this. When I was a kid, I wouldn't even believe you. I wouldn't know how that was going to happen. It just seemed so far away that it was accepting that if I never really had that, I was fine. And that's how I felt in my childhood. As I grew up and I was good in school and shit like that, and people could see some intelligence in me and some artistic qualities in me too, to be creative. They said, "Oh man, you got the juice, man. You'll be able to do something. You're gonna be something." And then I went, "Oh, okay, well now that you say so, maybe I should fucking act like I'm gonna be something in life." But until then, man, just happy to just be, to be grateful, to just be somewhere, to just be with family, to not be homeless, just having a low standard in life that it didn't matter, man. We was happy with family, and as long as we was good, we was good. Like I was just okay with that. Um, but to come from where I come from, to have this house, and then to have this happen today, it's crazy to me, man. It's blowing my mind because I always felt so much like everything around, everything from me getting a job and how that even all happened, how I even started working at the coffee shop to put me in the path of this man in the first place that offered me the job in the way that he did. I don't even know how he feels about me being fired today. But like I was saying, can't nobody be there unless somebody already works there, vouchers for them. So there's a lot of nepotism going on, and I can see that right now. The guy that was replacing me, his father works there and doesn't like me. That's kind of crazy to me. Everybody has a brother, a cousin, a best friend, a son. There's a lot of father-son relationships in the place and stuff, and it's crazy, man. It's wild to have to be going through this, man, because I feel like the universe brought me here for what? To do this? What for? That's crazy. So now I got to grind. And what's crazy is that I'm trying to muster the strength to be positive when I can't even get 200 views on an open carry demo. I'm on the streets talking my shit with the gun on me. Can't get 200 views, gang. Right? How is this ever going to be what it is that I do for a living, so that I can do it all the time like it needs to be done, so that it can support a lifestyle for myself, so that my kids can at least maintain what it is that we have right now. I don't need no more than what it is that I have. I'm very proud of and in love with the house that I have right now. I never need anything more than this. Like I said, I came from almost nothing. We was always happy with whatever. I can definitely be happy with this. I would have never seen this coming. 7-year-old me would have never seen this coming. Um, and now I got kids, So um, I'm not worried about losing the house. I got a plan to save it. I'm gonna save it. It's gonna be easy, actually. It's just gonna take an act of desperation that I didn't want to have to fall through with. And it's gonna put me out here maybe to catch a blessing. Maybe this was a blessing. Maybe I can um put in the work necessary to bring the activism to a level of notoriety and awareness to people, that and maybe it can gain some motion and some function, and maybe this is all that I would need to do, is the open carry shit. And not just that, of course I would sharpen it up with reaction videos, news broadcasts of anything from crimes committed with guns, political issues that I always talk about, um, gun reviews that people like that type of shit. A lot of people making their way through YouTube on things like that, and none of that shit is above me at all. Um, it's just painful to be forced into this in this way, and I'm just going to take it as a continuation of the story that the universe has been trying to tell me this whole time anyway. Everything that led me to working at the fucking coffee shop, right? I fucking picked a coffee shop out of places in walking distance to fucking try to find a job when I was desperate, on the cusp of my custody battle with my oldest son's mother. All of that kind of happened right around at the same time, and I desperately needed employment, and I didn't have a vehicle. I had to go to places in walking distance, and the coffee shop was one of those places. And I was like, why the fuck would a nigga like me be working in a coffee shop? And then I started working in a coffee shop and started killing that shit. Like really being proud to do, like, to make fucking gourmet coffees and shit. Like, crazy shit. Uh, I can go on and on all day about the little things that happened that made all of that transpire in the way that it did. It's a mind blowing thing, man. That's why when people say God's plan, you can look right at this quote unquote God's plan and watch how organically, sometimes seemingly unrelated things kind of fall into place to then build a picture that you're not going to even see until later on, or until retrospect, when things go really good or really bad. Do you look back and go, damn, that's what that was? I try to do that shit on a day-to-day basis. Try not to take anything for granted and try not to miss anything. So I'm just going to take this as one of those things, man, where the universe be like, nigga, we don't give a fuck what you feel about that shit. You finna live that shit because it's supposed to do something that you asked for. It's going to do something that is supposed to fucking happen. It ain't going to fucking happen if you work there. You had to get the fuck up out of there. You're fired, you know? And then other little things will come into place to make that more, to make it likely that it happens in that way. And like I said, there's something that I think that I did that did it. I think it's my fault. I know what I did. I know what I did. I know what I did that put that shit over the edge. That they said, oh yeah, we can tie his um online presence with a with an unhealthy, unprofessional crossing paths with my employment there. And I think they went, boom, let's do that. And he's not the perfect employee anyway. We always reserve the right in a state like Iowa is like in a state like Iowa, they have laws where they don't have to tell you why they fired you. They can just fire you, fire at will, or what, I don't know what the fuck it's called. But y'all might know what I'm talking about. They don't have to give you a reason. And they didn't either. So now it can be wherever my imagination will take it, but they don't have to say what it actually was. That way, if it was for personal things, they don't got to say that. Um, and if I can think back to things that people have complained about on my job performance, or that this was wrong or that was wrong, that if I can see them doing that, then I can always tell myself to fill in the blanks that that's what it was for. It was because I made this mistake and that mistake, and I came in late and blah blah blah. The whole time it could be personal, could be racial, and you wouldn't know it. Um, but the nepotism is strong, and for me to be replaced by that guy's son is fucking crazy. That's wild. Um, and that's okay though. I'm gonna let the universe do whatever the fuck it's trying to do to me, and then I'm gonna rock out. Y'all check the merch. The link is already in the video. This is a funny fucking shirt. I'm a creative dude. Look at what you did to my white tee. The fuck, bro? I shouldn't have. Maybe I shouldn't have been there in the first place. How's that? I don't know. Or if I was there, I've stayed. I've made my stay, and it's over. 11 years, right? 11 years and it's over. That's crazy. But you know what though? I really feel like um, doing this to me might have been on a back burner long ago, because I've been trying to get my son and my cousin into this place the way everybody else speaks up on other people. And why they going, no, we'll see if we can make room. We'll see what's up. I'll let you know. Everybody else is getting all of their friends and family and shit like that up in there, to the degree that I get fired to make room for somebody's son. That's how bad it was. And I got a feeling like, when I asked y'all to maybe consider hiring my son in here, because this is how y'all do, y'all take recommendations from the employees that are already in here. When I recommended that, and y'all went, we'll see, but then y'all hired like 7 people after that, I should have to, I'm going to look at that and be like, That's crazy because how would you hire my son and then fire me? You wouldn't want to really do that in front of him. You might be trying to divorce yourself or remove yourself from the me vibe, which is strange to me because everybody in there loves me. And I'm not just saying that to be like, man, everybody love me. I'm talking about as personal as I get with people, they get personal with me. And there's people in there that have been messaging me all day like, I cannot believe what's happening. We're all fucking in here. We're all sad, bro. Everyone's sad, bro. It's all we're talking about. Our minds are blown. I don't feel good. I don't trust my position in the job now. They could fire me. Like, people are like freaking out right now because they don't understand that if I'm not safe in there, what the fuck happened, right? Um, but I know what it is. That activism just crossed the path with my employment, and they couldn't wait for that because she told me that's what she wanted to do when she found my Facebook. She told me that she found my Facebook and went crazy. She was mad as fuck. She was mad as fuck. Thank you, Roy. It's bad, bro, because I like my job, man, and there's no way in hell that I was in there causing the company more pain than good, man. I think it was just a political thing, man. I think they had enough on me that I wasn't an ideal employee, and nobody is. Nobody in there is. Everybody in there goes through their ups and downs and shit like that, where they're pissing people off, not being quite um, accurate in what it is that they do, and people make mistakes and all that type of shit. It's all over the place all the time. Nobody in there can raise their hand and go, man, I don't make no mistakes. I don't never do shit wrong about nothing. Yeah, the fuck you do, and they all know that. But that gives you deniability that it was ever personal when you know you're not an ideal model fucking employee, and then you get fired and they go, man, legally, all I can tell you is that we decided to go in another direction. That's weird. 11 and a half years, man, of working there, right? Not to throw people under the bus, but what's crazy though is that they have, um, at the time, they had two felons. I know one guy might have got all his shit expunged because it was nonviolent felonies. And he even got, talked him into getting hit fighting for his gun rights. He got his gun rights back, but he had a drug felony charge. He even served some prison time. So he was a felon that worked there, which is fine. That's cool. I'm not knocking that at all. But a guy that did prison time, um, didn't get judged for personal things outside of work to affect who he is. You see what I'm saying? Another guy that worked there, and I like him a lot. He's a cool dude, and I feel bad for him. But he's gotten over his situation, and he's a super religious dude, and I like him a lot. He's another one of those guys that do. If you tell me your personal shit, and I'm a fucking human being, and I hear you say this shit, you're gonna make me like the human being that you are, bro. I'm not gonna be able to not do that shit. I'm gonna like you. I'm gonna feel bad for you, feel sorry for you. I'm probably gonna root for you. That's who I am. And this guy told me this horrible story about his only child, his daughter, died in the care of a woman that he was dating that I think wasn't the child's mother. And somehow he got implemented in it on some level of neglect or something. And he saw some prison time. So he lost his only child, his beautiful daughter. She had the same eyes and everything. She just looked like him in a picture that he showed me. And I don't know how I'm supposed to work with this guy and know this and then like not care. People are weird when they don't care. And because of that, if I was his boss and I thought that I was going to fire him, he would have had to be fucking my money up. He had to be fucking my shit up because I'd be like, I can't fire you because it's you. It's 128 hours a week you that I'm firing, not the 40-hour a week motherfucker who I see really part time, because full time working at a fucking job is part time of your fucking life. That's not who I am in full. I couldn't fire him. I couldn't fire him, bro. My company would be like family because I'd be like, dude, if you make me care about you, you're gonna have to be fucking my shit up for me to fire you. You're gonna be fucking it up. And what was I in there fucking up? I wasn't in there fucking up nothing. I wasn't fucking up anything. I wasn't fucking nothing up. Right? Everybody made mistakes. Even the guy that fired me, he come right out there working in my department, making mistakes that he yelled at me about. Fucking funny watching him do this shit. Um, but RPM Trade Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang get a fucking gun. Still the same old thing. I'm gonna be the same old me. I'm not gonna let it really get me down. I'm just gonna have to grind. I'm gonna need y'all help sharing the shit. I'm so far away from this activism actually paying my fucking bills that it's kind of disturbing because I can't get 200 likes on the open carry when I'm out there with a gun on the street standing up for gun rights in a very unique way that I don't think anybody ever in life in the history of the world, who in the history of the world chose to do what it is that I'm doing with, unique, man. It's a unique thing, and I'm proud of myself for coming up with it. But it's a goddamn shame, man. This is never, not soon enough. Not soon enough will this be I ain't gonna be able to get it in 3 months. I got 3 months of severance from my employer. Hopefully, with a couple of bonuses thrown in that I feel like I have earned that are already being um, considered with it being this time of the year, and we just finished a $6 million month last month. That implies a decent little bonus that I hope that I get that on this next check that I get at the end of this month because I earned it as I would any other time. It's already locked in. So hopefully they honor that. Hopefully they honor this end of the year bonus, and then with a few other tricks that I got up my sleeve, I'll be fine. I'm not worried about the house. What I'm worried about is getting ahead of it before what it is that I have as a backup plan starts to become diminished. Like I can't diminish my backup plan. I got to get to it, so I got to find some gainful employment. But with this being an opportunity like this for me to take the time to hyper focus in on creating a true foundation for some crowdfunding, some fucking cash apps, some fucking Patreon subscriptions. I gotta get my Patreon going. I really want to take this opportunity to take a deep breath and be myself while I have this time to see where that will propel what it is that I really want to do in my life anyway. This has got to turn into something. It's a goddamn fucking shame that it hasn't already. It'd be a damn shame if it never does. Now I think is the time, like right now. Um, if there's anything that anybody can do to share the shit, get the shit out in the open, I'm gonna be recording mad videos since I got all this fucking time right now. I might as well start my fucking documentary. I got about 3 or 4 months of, and I'm not gonna take that fucking long. I gotta find another job ASAP. It'd be nice if I was working someplace in 2 weeks. Um, and that's crazy that I gotta desperately reach for that instead of saying I'm gonna take this time to be me. I can't do that. The money game won't let you do that. So here I go. I gotta get into the rat race, the rat race, with the rest of you fucks. But I want to take this opportunity to really dive into it and then do my documentary on my entire gun rights activism, my childhood, what made me this way, the story behind where I quote unquote woke up to the fact that government is fucking evil. It's a very beautiful story, and all the things that fucking happen is just like example after example after example how the universe is saying, motherfucker, I'm trying to talk to you. It's what the universe is doing, right? And I think this is one of those times, man, where I got to start looking uh, ahead and foreseeing whatever it is that I need to be doing with this opportunity right now, and then fucking doing it, like doing it to the death, like really doing that shit. So it'll help if y'all share the YouTube channel, promote the shit. I'm going to get the Patreon going. What I really hate to do, which YouTube is insisting that I do anyway, I'm going to start. I'm going to have to hide my shit behind my Patreon. I'm going to have to put it there. YouTube would be good for teasers and other things, but they striking my channel so much with the sight of a fucking AR-15 during a live stream. I'm never gonna make it through that. I'll lose my whole fucking channel fucking around with that. So I want to lightly lift this trust that I have for all of my content to be inside of YouTube and IG, but mostly YouTube, and move my shit to a Patreon. I got a Rumble. If y'all don't know what Rumble is, please go check out the Rumble. I got a Rumble channel. I'll link that in this video or somewhere later on. I got to start recording and documenting shit to my Rumble. But watching other YouTubers and social content creators blow the fuck up on dumb, useless shit is like really blowing my mind right now, because I look at what I got going on and I literally, me and Cuz, literally risk our lives to make a very strong, powerful statement about making a positive interaction with other human beings by offering the fucking hug and then standing up for gun rights in a country like this at a time like this. Man, that should be valuable to one out of every fucking 50, 1 out of every 50 fucking people that ever fucking bought a gun should go, I'll give you $1 a month if you just keep doing what you're doing, bro. I'll give you $1 a month. How many people own guns in this fucking country? Right? We got 100 million gun owners in this country. I can't get 50,000 of you motherfuckers to give me $1 a month. It sounds like nothing, and it will put me in such a great position to be like, this is all I do. Y'all just unlocked a superhero. I'm never taking this fucking vest off. Like, through the fucking clouds and over the fucking moon, I'll be gone on some superhero shit, bro. And it sounds so possible, but it seems so fucking far away that I can't get 50, that 20, 10,000. Can I get 10,000 gun owners again? I'll give you $1. I'll give you $2 a month. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'll give you $2 a month. I can't get 10,000 of y'all to do that. That's crazy. Because all of these guns are out here and I'm sticking up for all y'all like this. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. But I don't know, man. Whatever the code is, whatever the universe got going on, we're going to figure it out. Because I'm going to be hyper focused on looking for the things, the signs, the clues, the all of the things that are making more likely that what I'm imagining comes into fruition. All of those little things that are making more and more likely. I got to tap into that and then do that. There's no other way to do this shit right now. So, man, we're going to see, man. Shout out to everybody in the chats, man. Anybody show support. I already got some cash apps. That was dope for y'all to even do that. Thank you. John Mendoza, what up? Rick James, Truth Does Not Exist. DCRAEXON. I can never pronounce that, but thanks for being here, man. Man, I got so many ideas, man, that something's I just got a wave of positivity for a second. Brainstorming all these little ideas and dreams and things that I wish that I was doing that I had time to do that now I got a little bit of time to do. It's going to be okay. I think this is going to turn into a blessing because all those shit that I have to do, this shit has to work. RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. Wu Bang, get a fucking gun today. Don't be bullied by nobody. Don't take shit for granted. Man, be yourself, man. Be you, man. Because Jesus, fuck. All I can do is try to care about people, man, and then we see what happens after that. I don't know, man. Peace and love to y'all, man.